Look up. Right now. You see it. Instantly, sharp, live, real time, feels true. It isn't. You're late. Always late. 1/10 of a second behind the past. Now, that image is already old. Light reached your eyes first. Then the signal had to travel, up the nerve to your brain. And your brain had to build it. All of that takes time. Around 100 milliseconds. You never feel the delay. Think about what seeing really is. It feels like a window, like the world simply pouring straight into your eyes. But nothing pours in at all. Light bounces off the world, enters your eye, and lands on the back wall inside it. That back wall is your retina. And the retina does not send a picture anywhere, because there is no picture to send. It sends tiny bursts of electricity, millions of cells firing in patterns that stand in for the light that hit them. Those bursts are not instant. Each step in the chain adds a small delay, and the delays quietly stack up. Consider the work of Hermann von Helmholtz. More than a century ago, he measured how fast a nerve signal actually travels. Everyone had assumed it was instant. It was not. And the speed he found was startlingly, almost unnervingly slow. A nerve signal is not lightning. It crawls along at a pace measured in meters per second, nothing like the speed of light. So every signal inside you takes time. The message from your eye reaches your brain late, never the instant the light arrives. Follow a single flash of light inward. It strikes a photoreceptor, a rod or a cone, at the very back of your eye. Inside that cell, a chemical reaction begins. A molecule changes shape, a cascade unfolds, and only then does the cell respond. That chemistry alone burns real time. Before the signal has even left your eye, milliseconds have already slipped away. Your rods and cones do not even work at the same speed. Rods, the cells that carry you through dim light, are slower and more sluggish to respond. Cones, packed tightly at the center of your vision, answer a little faster and sharper. So even at the very first step, the timing is already uneven across your eye. Bright light, dim light, the center, the edge, each one carries its own small lag. And your brain has to fold all of it into a single smooth moment. Then the signal moves deeper still. Through the layers of the retina, into the optic nerve, the thick cable leaving each eye. Down that cable the pulses run, toward a relay station buried in the middle of your brain, and onward from there. The signal reaches the very back of your head, the visual cortex, the part that turns raw electrical noise into edges, shapes, and motion. This is where the heavy work happens. David Hubel and Hubel Wiesel spent years listening to single cells in that region. They found individual neurons tuned to lines. One cell fires for an edge tilted one way, another for an edge tilted the other. The image is assembled piece by piece, layer after layer, feature after feature, until something you can actually see comes together. And assembling all of that costs time. Not long by a clock, but far from nothing, and it adds to all the rest. Add every one of those steps together, the chemistry, the travel, the relay, and the slow, careful building of the picture. The total lands near one number, roughly 100 milliseconds between light touching your eye and you becoming aware of it. 1/10 of a second, every single time. It sounds tiny, and it is. Yet it is always there, and it never goes away. So the moment you are seeing is already old. By the time it reaches you, the world has quietly moved on without you. And it gets stranger still, because not everything in vision travels at one speed. The signal for motion and the signal for color do not arrive together. Different features are handled by different streams at slightly different rates. Yet you never see the color peel away from the object it belongs to. You never see a moving thing split apart from its own hue. Somehow, the separate arrivals are bound back into one seamless scene. The timing is stitched so cleanly that the seams simply vanish. What reaches you feels like one moment, even though it was built from many. Here is where it gets truly strange. If you only ever saw that old image, you would be helpless with anything that moves. Picture a ball flying toward you. By the time you saw it, the ball would already be past the spot you saw. You would reach for empty air. You would swing late, step late, and miss nearly everything moving quickly around you. But that is not what happens. You catch the ball. You dodge the ball. You meet it exactly where it truly is. So something is correcting the lag. Your visual system does not simply hand you the old position of a moving thing. It pushes that position forward in time. It uses the object's speed and direction to estimate where it sits at this very instant. What you see is a prediction, a best guess of the present, stitched together from information that is already out of date. You can even catch this trick in the act. A scientist named Nijhawan showed it with a simple, almost unfair little test. A dot moves steadily across your view. At one instant, a second dot flashes right beside it, at the very same position. Physically, the two line up perfectly. Same place, same moment. No gap at all between them on the screen. But that is not what you see. You see the moving dot ahead of the flash, pulled forward from where it truly was. The flash comes and goes with no warning, so your brain leaves it where it landed, frozen at its true old position. The moving dot, though, can be predicted, so your brain runs it forward, and the gap you see is that correction made visible. That gap is the hidden delay itself. You are watching your own visual system paper over 1/10 of a second. Now remember, this is running all the time, not just in a lab, but in every ordinary thing your eyes do all day long. You step off a curb into traffic. You judge the gap, the speed of the car, the moment when it is safe to move. All of it is built on prediction. You do not see where the car is, you see where it is about to be. This is why the fastest sports sit right at the edge of the possible. A ball thrown hard can cross the distance in under half a second. Strip away the delay, and even that is barely enough time to move. The batter is not really watching the ball meet the bat. The swing is launched from a prediction made long before contact. By the time the true image of the ball arrives, the swing is already committed. The very best players are not seeing faster than you. They are predicting earlier and trusting the guess sooner. A fly lands near your hand. You swat, and even when you miss, you aimed ahead of it, not behind. Your eyes leap across these words, flicking ahead, filling gaps, always working slightly beyond the letters you have caught. The world feels perfectly, seamlessly live, smooth, immediate, happening right now, with no lag and no seam anywhere in it. And seeing is only the first delay. Once you have seen, you still have to act, and acting is slower again. The signal has to travel back out to your muscles and move them. From light to motion can stretch well past 2/10 of a second. So you are always chasing a world that is already ahead of you. Perception runs late, and your response runs later still. Across the whole chain, that gap is quietly bridged, and it is bridged so well that it feels like it was never there. That seamless feeling is the illusion. There is a delay under everything you see, and a guess laid neatly over the top of it. Sit with what that actually means. The present you feel so certain of is not the raw present at all. It is a model of the present, assembled from old light, then nudged forward to line up with the real world. So your brain is never simply recording the world. It is always running slightly ahead, sketching the next instant before it lands. Every scene you see is part memory, part measurement, part forecast. The forecast is usually right, which is exactly why you never notice it working. But when a fast thing suddenly changes course, the guess can slip. For a fraction of a second, the prediction and the world disagree. Then the correction arrives, and the seam closes over again. And you call that whole smooth result reality. Your sense of now is a construction, close enough to be useful, fast enough to keep up, but never the instant itself. You have never seen the present. Not once, not ever, in your whole life have your eyes shown you this exact instant. You have only ever seen echoes. Light that already left, arriving late, dressed up as the moment happening right now. So look up one more time. At the room, the light, the people, whatever sits in front of you at this moment. All of it looks like now. It feels like now, sharp and immediate and undeniably present before your open eyes. But every bit of it already happened, 1/10 of a second ago, while your brain quietly caught you up to speed. You are living in the past. You always have been, in every single glance, and you will never once feel it. Look up. Whatever you just saw has already happened.